Hey, what's up, guys? I haven't done a live stream in a long time. Well, I wouldn't say a long time, probably about a week or two. And a week or two, I had one of my close friends still playing with me. And now that she's gone, things been a bit different for me. And it started out with me waking up early in the morning with chest pain, and that lasted for about 2 days. Thank God it only lasted 2 days, because I didn't want to take any more of that. So I might need to start doing other things other than gaming, because I haven't been streaming like I used to ever since the first incident we had. And this is incident number 2, and looks like it's going to be the final incident. Now, what I don't understand, how could a person believe that they're right every time and don't see that they're wrong? And even when they're with other people, they see exactly what she sees. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start doing other things other than gaming. I'll still do some live stream gaming, but that's not gonna be my main focus thing. Lord knows. So whatever I decide what I'm gonna do is I might need to, study on it, see what I need to do and how I can do it. So, the day of New Year's Eve, I think it was like 6 or 7 hours before the countdown. We had it wasn't a big fight, but it ended that way. Now, we have a history of disagreements because she don't really see things that I see. And a lot of times I don't see what she sees. Now, usually when you are in a disagreement with someone, the thing you usually do is you take some space. You cool off by yourself. You either leave the person for a bit and come back. Stuff like that. That's what normal people do when they try to keep a friendship. They go somewhere and get their own space. But I guess I was doing it too much in one day, and she got fed up with it. So I guess that friendship wasn't going to be saved no matter what I was going to do. It seemed like it was already determined to fail, because she basically wanted me to come back and talk to her, and the way she talks, it's kind of tough to get her to understand what you were saying, or the way you were looking at things, because it's tough that way. A lot of times you need a third or a fourth party to try to wheel the person in to understand what you're talking about. Now, there's been few occasions where somebody step in and tell her what they understand about what I'm saying, when we're arguing about who's making the most valid points. Like, I remember one time we was talking about the PlayStation 5 release. I remember that one. And I said that they released the PlayStation 5 around the holidays. And she said it wasn't the holidays because it wasn't December. But somebody saw that and was telling her. And well, I think she understood better when her friends was telling her rather than when I was telling her. Now, let's fast forward a month later. Now, there's two incidents where it was three of us. It was me, Christy, and what's his name? He's a young kid. I don't remember his name. I think she called him Hillbilly. So one time I remember I was asking him about something. We was arguing about a mic issue. She could hear me. No, I could hear her, but she couldn't hear me. And she could only hear me if she takes her headset out, and she could hear me through the TV. And I remember telling her I had that same problem, but my problem was when I had bought a new mic, my PlayStation wasn't recognizing it. So it's pretty much the same problem, but different scenario. Even though I knew it was a different scenario, but she wanted to focus on the scenario rather than the mic issue, which was kind of uncalled for. So I had asked him about what his take on it, and he said that he didn't want to get in it. So I understood that, so I left it alone. Now, I think like a few weeks later, well, I ain't gonna say a few weeks later, on that day where we was having that big issue, she was trying to convince, hold up, okay. She was saying that how bad of a person I was and how I was difficult to be dealt with. And she wanted him to come in and give his 2 cents, and he gladly did. So not long after that, I asked him to prove my point, and he got quiet. So at that point, I saw it was a 2-on-1 thing. So that's the first time I left. I think it was a video I had uploaded a video. Cause she was helping me doing a mission. It was a launching mission where you're supposed to do your first nuke on Fallout 76. And she was giving me the codes, and the code was like I think the code was like 6 or 7 digits, but I only heard, let's say the codes was 6 digits. I only heard 5 of them. Because one of the numbers she was giving me was barely, you could barely hear it. So we was arguing about that. So I uploaded the video because I felt that she was wrong. So when I found out that I was wrong, I had took the video down after I went to apologize to her. So I apologized to her about being wrong because I heard, because it took me like 30 listens to actually get it. So after I apologized, then I was kind of recapping, talking about things like how today, well, not today literally, but how the day was a bad day for us. We've been fighting since we got in the party together. And she didn't remember that we was fighting since we've got in the party. And that's when the big fight came in, because she didn't remember that. And in her eyes, she was looking at it like, okay, he's apologized about something. Okay, we can move on. But why is he bringing this back up? But from my point of view, I was saying that because it's like a recap of the day. But I didn't bring it up to start another fight. But because I did, we was at another fight and we never recovered from that. She deleted me after, well, I ain't gonna say after, while I was trying to get my thoughts together. And she was like, I need to delete her friends too. So the one friend I did delete that was hers was the hillbilly, because he was biased as hell. He was very, very biased. So he was really, really, really biased. And there was no way I was going to keep somebody like that on my list. But there was another person on my my friend list that I met through her. And unless I talk to him, or he deletes me off his friend list, because that's the only way he's leaving my friend list, if he takes me off, because he's the only person that never gets involved like that. But she claims that hillbilly doesn't get involved either. But when she asked him to make a point for her, and then he stepped in and gave his 2 cents, he's already involved. His original purpose, like just to come and chill and play the game with us, that's out the window. That is completely out the window. So now he's in our fight. But the fact that I said that he was biased because he got quiet when I asked him to prove my point, she said that maybe because he didn't hear me. Now, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but she usually gets on my case if I don't hear something she's saying to make a point. Now, it'll be a big deal for her to ask me, did I hear this and that? And I'd be like, no, I wasn't paying no attention, or I'm not using a headset, I'm listening through my TV, so a lot of things gonna be distorted, and she would not understand that. But for some reason she understood him not hearing me, and he's wearing a headset, and you know, there's nothing completely distorted with him. on his end. Now, if that would have been me, it would have been World War III. And there was no way in hell that would have sit right with her. But the only reason it sit right with her then because he was on her side. Now, she say that she goes to her other friends. I think there's a best friend she has that she say that she doesn't hang with a lot of people. Only people she hang with is her. So she asked her, is she like a bad person? And she said no. Now, I wouldn't really take her perspective because she have to be in a party with us to see that. She really have to be in a party with us to see that, because I actually been in the party with her and her friends, and I actually listened to how she communicate with those other guys versus how she communicate with me. Now, I've been sitting in her party with her friends a lot. And a lot of times I just sit quiet. And yes, she talks pretty nice to these other guys. Really, really friendly. Meaning, not to say that she doesn't do that with me, but with me also, she gets kind of, she talks like she has this kind of attitude. Now, a lot of my friends saw that in her. Hell, I even saw that in her. When we first met, like 2 or 3 years ago, that's how she talked. But 2 or 3 years ago, it didn't bother me as much than it did now. It didn't bother me as much when I first met her, because I thought there was a lot more I need to know about her before I take offense to how she talks. It's a mess. It's a mess. So this video can go on for hours, but I'm not gonna try to do this for hours. But she just can't go off and be like, okay, this guy's a bad person, I'm a good person. No. That's not how that goes. That's never how that was. Never. But the fact that she thinks that, and then she's convincing other people that's how it is what really bothers me. I might need to do another video on this, maybe later, but this time I might need to be with someone else, or I might need to do this again alone. What the fuck? Why are my signals? Yeah, because I think I'm ready to stop the video. Now, I gotta admit though, one of my biggest weaknesses when it came to her was my passion. I'm very passionate when I talk to her. What I mean is, when I speak to her, it sounds like I'm angry, like I'm yelling at her. I mean, sometimes I do yell at her, but that's not all the time that I actually yell at her. Because a lot of time when I be talking to her, I'm already frustrated about something. Either she had something to do with it or not. But I did kind of appreciate that she kind of hung around and, you know, didn't do too much judging at that time. But I guess it been going on too long. But speaking passionate about something versus talking like you have an attitude is really two different kind of issue. You could probably deal with a person better if they're passionate about what they're talking about. Like, for instance, if a person has a gun and they're pointing, you're gonna yell, this person has a gun. You're not gonna be all nice about, okay, he has a gun, turn back this way and start moving. No. You're gonna fucking scream. You're gonna fucking yell, this person has a gun. That's what I mean by passionate. But I don't know. A lot of times when I do a live stream, she keeps her voice muted. Well, she don't keep her voice muted, but she doesn't allow her voice to be heard on somebody else's live stream. The only time you can get her voice to be heard if you're using Turtle Beaches or you talking out through your camera. And if your camera's like sitting right next to your TV like mine, you could hear it. And the video that I mentioned earlier about her being, well, not her being, but about her giving me the codes to the launch codes. The video I had taken down after apologizing to her. You could have heard how she was communicating with me, like she was yelling. And I wasn't really yelling at her, and I still have the video. I just took it down. So that's probably gonna be it for now. I'll probably talk more about it later and then start with my new video. Not new video, but what I'm gonna do next.